Welcome to Big Brander Podcast. My name is Dana Okhana, and this is the place where you're going to learn more about social media, brand building, marketing, and more about the journey of being entrepreneur, of being a self-employed person and having your own business. And that's what I actually want to focus on today's episode, about the connection between marketing to the journey of being entrepreneur. I know that, for example, some can maybe watch certain stuff that I do, and I'm not doing fully, like, by definition, 100% like marketing when I share my tips and tricks and things like that and the topics that I speak about. But the reason behind it, and that's why I felt it's very important for us to understand it, is because this is part of your journey, the part of your journey that you go through as entrepreneur. That's part of your definition for your brand. So what is basically a brand? All right. A brand is a story. It's a story we tell. And you are the brand. Each and every one of us is a brand. So brands are not only belong just to corporates, like those big brands that we all know, like Kleenex, Coca-Cola, Nike, McDonald's, and stuff like this. It's also each and every one of us. We are the brands. And we decide which story we want to tell in each and every situation in our life. So we can be even two different brands when it's regarding our business to our relationships, right? Even in our relationship, we're sharing something. We come with certain values, certain beliefs. We have a certain point of view. They have a certain perception about us, and we're trying to build a certain perception that we want them, like we want them to see us and perceive us in a certain way. So we're trying to build it like this. It's the same as your business. And one more important thing to understand from this, that this is not like a once-off project that you do and end after a certain period of time. It's a long process. It's an ongoing project. It's something that you're constantly going to be working on. And even after we die, God forbid, yes, it's still working. You always can look at this from like different celebrities, like either like different kings or even like images from the Bible, or like different artists that committed suicide or died or whatever. The brand is continuing. So for example, if I'll take Michael Jackson, the brand is still there. Michael Jackson is a brand. So maybe like what he left here, it's in people's mind, the songs and things. It doesn't matter what we think, if we love it or not, but it's still there. And that's the same as and that's the same as our business. So when you do marketing and you want to build a strong online brand, it's not just to focus on I'll do it like in like the dry part of like marketing. It's not just okay, I need to post on social media. I need to be active on the social media. I need to use a newsletter. I need to go to exhibitions or whatever. It's not just that. It's way more than that. You need to connect to your journey as an entrepreneur and understand what you learn along the way and how you do things differently and how you push yourself to do things that you maybe not feeling comfortable with. And how you use that journey to connect to your followers, to connect to your audience and build this relationship with them. And as I said on my previous episode, by building relationship with them, you're gaining their trust, and that's how you build a strong online brand. But that's the part that goes with the personal development part of things, okay? And that's why for me, it's very important to speak in this podcast that I've got, not just on the technical side and the marketing side from this angle of like the tips and how to grow your Instagram and how to build a community and things like that, but also to speak on the side of like how not to let fears control us and guide us in life, how to do things that are outside of our comfort zone, okay? How to actually understand the why. And when I ask most people, and I do have an episode about this, like on knowing and finding the why, that's an emotional challenge that you need to go through. Because a lot of time when you ask people why you do what you do, they have a certain answer that if you actually listen, it's not the real answer. It's something very vague that they're like giving you, but not really like the meaning of like the purpose of why you do what you do. But then if you ask yourself the why and the why and the why and the why until you get to that place, you understand that it's something that comes from very deep inside of us. And that's why I really am a big believer that first connect to yourself. Connect to yourself before you connect to your audience. Learn as much as you can about yourself. Share about that journey. And again, it doesn't matter what your business is about. Share about the journey. So like I will share all the time about how hard it was for me first to build a brand from scratch in a different country and not in my home language, especially when you come with so much knowledge of building huge brands, as well, that it wasn't that comfortable for me to create my first video, to film it. It took me 2 weeks to sit with a lipstick on in front of my computer, and I'm like, 2 weeks to convince myself. I looked so like insecure on my first video, and today I do it in my sleep. And the reason that I share it is because this is part of my journey. That's how I became what I am today. And yes, it wasn't easy. But if I could have done it, maybe by sharing this, I can encourage more and more of you to do it. And that's why when you look at marketing, it's not just the like theoretical side of marketing. Okay, let's have a business strategy, a key message, brand promise, like target audience, marketing strategy plan, and like which social media platform to be active and stuff like this. It's not just this. Okay, it's more than that. So share your journey. Always remember that people buy from people, and people buy from people they have a connection with, okay? That they can feel, that they can resonate with. You want to resonate with your audience because that's how it's going to be easier for you to create content that is relevant for them. But you also want them to resonate with you because that's how they can trust you and build those relationships with you. But you cannot build it just on the dry stuff. You need to give them more. And that's why, for example, when you do your marketing and like when you're being active on social media, don't just maybe put the dry stuff, okay? Share more of it. Share more of who you are and your personality. And that's fine if not everyone will feel a connection to it. So I can give my example on myself. So for example, if you look at some of my social media, like especially like on Instagram, you'll see that every Thursday I do like a card reading, that I put a message card from a tarot card, oracle card. And yes, some will say like, what's the connection between this to marketing? There is not supposed to be a direct connection. The connection is that first, this is me and I'm the brand. This is how I believe. I'm very connected to my spirituality journey. And it's something that I like to do and share a message card. And it's part of me. It's part of my belief. That's part of how I do my marketing. Even in my consultation, it really becomes like a very therapeutical like session, because it's not just on like how we do X, Y, Z and how we get the result. It's a lot of time also to overcome certain things that are blocking us. So for me, putting this message card, this is part of who I am. And yes, of course, I'm pretty sure that I've lost some followers because of this. But you know what? That's fine, because I cannot be everything to everyone, and so do you. You cannot be everything to everyone. So that is why it's very important to connect to who you are, learn about yourself, go through your own journey, and share it. Don't just share coaching tips or like the nutrition tips or like financial tips or stuff like this. Share more. Speak more about the struggles, the challenges, like on why you do what you do. Give more to this and work on yourself and share what you've done recently to help you overcome certain things. Use it to inspire, to motivate others. So when someone asks you, what is the connection? There's not always need to be a direct connection. It's the same as, like when you work in corporates and you do marketing, you always need to, when you want to invest a certain amount of money, you always need to prove an ROI, which is a return of investment. But not everything you do in marketing will necessarily going to give you a direct sell, right? And I'm going to do a different topic about return of investment. But not everything will give you a direct sell out of it or like to generate leads. But it can help you with brand awareness. It can help you to stay in top of mind and things like that. So not everything have a direct link to this, like a direct connection. And that's why it's very important for you to understand that you're the brand. Focus on building yourself first of all. Share everything you go through, of course, with what you decide you want to share and what's not. Put it out there. Share your story. Let your audience know you. Be yourself. Be authentic. Share with them the story. Let them connect with you. And if it's not necessarily in a direct line with what you do, that's also fine. Because eventually you want to attract the right people. If you attract the right people, there's a better chance for you to convert them from an actual follower or an actual email on your email list to an actual client. And it takes time to build a brand. And as I said, it's an ongoing project. And you need to remember that even Rome wasn't built in a day, and so is your brand. But it takes a second to destroy it. So focus on building a strong online brand by focusing on your foundations, on building solid foundation and strong foundation. And to do that, you need to be strong. You need to find what's motivating you, what's going to help you to push yourself to do things that are not so comfortable for you. Are you overcoming your fears? Are you doing things differently? Are you putting things out there? Are you not letting things to block you and disturb you and not let you move forward? If you're growing, your audience will grow with you. But if you're staying in the same place, you're not going to help them to move forward. And that is why it's very important to share your experience, your story. So remember, a brand is a story. So what is your story? And again, I invite you to check my episode on like the why you do what you do. Connect to this and share this. Put it out there. The right people will feel that connection, that will resonate with you, and they will come. And those are the people you're looking for. So focus on that. So yes, that's why in my different episodes, you're not just going to get tips on the dry marketing, social media, and brand building side. You're going to get more in the journey of also becoming an entrepreneur, because that's what builds you. That's what's going to build you as a brand. Okay, so everything you experience in your business, in your journey, it's part of who you are. And that's what helps you to evolve and grow in life and change things in your business. So share it. Put it out there. Don't be afraid and don't be shy. And I would love to hear from you guys. Like first, like to get to know you, those who listen, like what's your business, what you're doing. And if you know what's your why, I would love to hear that as well. And I really invite you to try to do things a bit differently and think about who am I as a brand and what is the story that I want to share, and start sharing it. And I would love to hear more about how you sharing your story. And of course, I want to invite you to not forget to follow Big Consulting on the different social media platform, which means like pretty much everyone, like on Instagram and TikTok. And I've got all the links as well in the descriptions. And of course, as you see, like every Tuesday, I post another episode. So hope to get you on my next one. It's going to be very, very interesting.